My name is Jamie Lee, and today I'll be doing a review of the movie that I think everybody is talking about on YouTube at the moment, or even in the world. Everybody's just talking about this movie wherever you go, Deadpool and Wolverine. If you haven't watched this movie yet, go and watch this masterpiece and then come back to hear my thoughts, because this is going to be completely full of spoilers, because you know me, I just ramble on. I talk about all the things that I like mostly, and there was so much to like in this movie. It was my most anticipated movie of the year alongside Borderlands, so hopefully that one's just as good, but it was perfect for me. This had everything and more that I wanted in it. I knew going into this movie that it was going to be funny because I find Ryan Reynolds funny, not just as Deadpool, but just in general. I think he's a really funny guy. Teaming up with Hugh Jackman, who is brilliant, I knew it was going to be a ball of fun. And that it was. The jokes just landed for me. Every single joke. It's like Ryan Reynolds took creative control of it and he didn't hold back. The jokes were so self-aware. It was just taking the piss out of or mocking everyone and everything in its way. And it was just brilliant. I laughed at things like the little boy saying, "Is that Wolverine?" And Deadpool saying, "Damn right it is. Disney brought him back. They're going to make him do this till he's 90." Which is a nod to the fact that, you know, Hugh Jackman's 55 and he has played Wolverine for 17 years and he's still coming back. And then even further taking the piss out of that the reason he's coming back is because of that big wad of Marvel cash that they threw at Hugh Jackman. Things like that is just really funny, and I love that they're taking the piss out of it. I also laughed when Deadpool broke the fourth wall and said something about Wolverine joining the MCU at a real low point. I thought that was taking a jab at some of the Marvel fans who lately have been disappointed with the MCU. That's what they've been calling it. And yeah, just a lot of hate towards Marvel and the MCU and where it's heading. There have been many complaints on the internet about the state of the MCU. I am guilty as being one of those people after that abomination of She-Hulk. See what I did there? Abomination. Anyway, I really loved this movie and I hope that it brings the MCU fans back on board and gets them excited for the future of the MCU. I also feel like in this movie, Ryan Reynolds wasn't afraid to take some risks. Like, he threw in some pretty salty stuff in here, like the blade joke about there only being one blade. I was like, I thought it was funny and I laughed, but I was sitting there like, ooh. Ooh, that a bit nasty. Because as we know, like, Blade has had pushback after pushback after pushback to the point where you think, is Blade coming out? Is there going to be another Blade? And then another little spicy thing that happened was between Elektra and Deadpool, when he was constantly apologizing for Daredevil not making it in the wasteland and not surviving. And as we know, Daredevil was played by Ben Affleck, who was Jennifer Garner's ex-husband, and they had a messy divorce. And when Deadpool was apologizing for that, she said, "It's fine. It's really fine that he's gone." Like, she doesn't give a fuck. I thought that was really funny, but also very spicy. This is probably just the romantic and go girls side of me coming out, but I really love how much this movie honored Blake Lively. The joke about there being 206 bones in the body, but 207 when Deadpool watches Gossip Girl was the best thing that I heard in this entire movie. I thought that was really funny. And then also when Nicepool was explaining to Deadpool that Ladypool had just had a baby and she's back to her, you know, beautiful figure or something along those lines. I just thought, like, what a nod to his wife, basically saying how beautiful she was. And he does that in real life, but also to see it come across on screen was really nice as well. I also love the search for the Wolverine. I thought that scene was a real treat for comic book readers who could appreciate seeing Patch, Little Wolverine, I don't know his names, haven't read the comics, the one that fought the Hulk. And that moment there was the moment that I knew that this was going to be a perfect movie and that I would absolutely love it. Because if you've been to my channel before, you know that I absolutely love throwbacks. I love when movies or shows take a nod to something that's happened in a prior episode or something that's happened before. My heart is so full in those moments and I just get so freaking happy. And in this, we got the iconic moment from Avengers 1 with Loki.
"I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that." Puny god.
And it's absolutely imitated by Deadpool.
"I'm Marvel Jesus, you dull creature, and I will..."
And then we get to that Wolverine cameo, which I think is hilarious that he's got Having your own nickname already. Anyway, so we get to that scene with Henry Cavill, and I mean, you've got to tick it off the list, right? Because what an epic cameo. At least once, all of us have thought about a replacement for Hugh Jackman, right? It was always a thought in the back of the mind who could replace him. And Henry Cavill was at least on your top five list. So seeing Deadpool talk about him like, oh yeah, he's the full package from behind was just brilliant. And then to see them take the piss out of Henry Cavill as well, I thought was a bit of a laugh, you know, saying we'll treat you better than them shit fucks down the road, meaning The Witcher. Like most, I was extremely excited to see what we thought was Captain America's arm. Got really excited by that, and he's giving this big speech about we have to do things together and we have to do things as a team. He's setting up for this big iconic moment, and you think that he's gonna scream Avengers Assemble, and he screams flame on. Oh my gosh, and turns into Johnny Storm.
Come again.
Was just too funny. I absolutely loved the fight scenes, the gore to do with them, the creative ways that they came up with kills. From the opening credit scene where you've got Deadpool fighting the TVA, or killing the TVA really, to NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. I thought that was brilliant because he was imitating the moves obviously from the film clip, but also tiny things like, you know, breaking bones in line with the beat, like dunk, dunk, dunk. And it's like three bones breaking at the same time. It was just really a masterpiece performance. The fight scenes between Deadpool and Wolverine were also just as fun because Deadpool was so enthusiastic and so excited to fight Wolverine, and Wolverine's like, you know, like he's so grouchy and grumpy, and just them bantering, let alone fighting between each other. It was just so much fun. I think probably my favorite one was the car scene when they're in the Honda, and I think he donked his head on the stereo, and out comes just a tiny snippet of The Greatest Showman, which was a nod to obviously Hugh Jackman being in that movie and performing that song. I thought that was great. And then the next time he donked his head on the stereo, it started playing Grease, You're the One That I Want. I mean, who doesn't love that song? But I thought that was really funny because I remember watching an interview with Hugh talking about Olivia Newton-John, how he had a crush on her and he had a poster of her in his bedroom and he'd kiss it every night and things like that. And then he worked with John Travolta and he confessed that, like, I really loved Grease and I loved Olivia Newton-John. And then they worked on a movie together, and John Travolta took Hugh back to his trailer to meet Olivia Newton-John, and he said he was so embarrassed because it was like the second movie that he'd ever made, and she was just like, who is this fanboy, all creeped out. I thought that was really funny, you know, and a really nice tribute to the both of them and a memory that they shared as well. Moving on to the Deadpool's fight scene. I was really excited for this, man. I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted this to be Taylor Swift. I think she's going to be in the MCU somewhere. I'm still holding on to that hope. And I did put up a video thinking 100% Taylor's going to be this. This is going to be her. And then I saw Blake Lively at the premiere in that red cat suit, and I thought, this is Ladypool, that is her. So I knew going into this movie that it wasn't going to be Taylor anymore, but that did not take away from the shine. Seeing Ladypool lead the Deadpools out was brilliant. I really loved seeing Nice Pool. I'm not going to lie, I just wanted to punch him in the face because he was just super happy and super nice about absolutely everything. So to think, you know, when he was being used as a human shield, I felt really sad because obviously he doesn't regenerate. But that moment where he's just dragging him along getting punched, he's like, why aren't your legs working? Why aren't you moving? That was quite funny. To then have Wolverine walk with Dogpool, which, oh, absolutely adorable, that dog, and just, you know, casually walk across the screen in front of these Deadpools. I just thought that whole fight scene was a lot of fun as well. I was really excited when we got to meet the Resistance team. I think they called them the other guys, because we went into this cave or this temple, and I saw the Scarlet Witch mural on the wall, or on the cave. I don't know what it was. Whatever it was, we saw something Scarlet Witchy there. And I was getting really excited, like, oh, we're gonna have my girl as a cameo. We didn't, but that's okay. It was still really nice to see X-23 all grown up, Elektra and Blade, and I really enjoyed seeing Channing Tatum as Gambit. He's always expressed that he wanted to be a superhero, so it just felt so 21 Jump Street having him there with the accent and just fun, you know, like shuffling his cards around and just blowing people up. It was just really cool to see, and I enjoyed seeing Channing Tatum as Gambit. As funny as this movie was, and as I've said, it's been very, very funny for me, There was a lot of heartfelt moments. There was some between X-23 and Logan. He said that, you've got the wrong guy. And she said, you've always been the wrong guy. And things like that, because that's what he's always said, that you got the wrong guy, pal. You got the wrong guy, bud. Stuff like this. It was really nice for her to sit there and open up to him and say that her Logan let her grow up. Because of her Logan, she had a life. Other mutants had a life. And that was a really beautiful moment. I was starting to get all worked up there. But then hearing Wolverine's backstory, or this Wolverine's backstory, to do with the fact that he went and got plastered, and while he did, the humans came and killed the mutants, and in return, as revenge, he went and killed a whole bunch of humans, good ones, bad ones, whatever. He went on this killing bender. And that was quite sad. But then to hear, he was really getting irritated by hearing Deadpool talk about the suit, the suit, the suit, the suit. To hear him have all that guilt and wanting to wear the suit because, they wanted him to wear the suit and join them as the X-Men. And he said a line like, heaven forbid I wear the suit, or heaven forbid I join them. And that was so sad to think that he holds all this guilt and he wears the suit to sort of have their memories still and have their hope, I guess, that things could work out in the end. That was a really beautiful moment. And to see him put on I think Deadpool called him like the cock-sucking handlebars or something, when he put the full suit on, like with the mask and all. Oh, it's so perfect. It's so, so perfect. But those little moments there that actually had meaning behind them, it just goes to show how much care was put into this movie. Like, Ryan Reynolds and the creative team actually wanted this to be good. They really do care, and they did care about this project. You can really feel it. I really did love everything about this movie, as you can tell from my video so far, but I just want to quickly touch on things that other people are saying in reviews, or I've heard people say, out in public and stuff, which is about the death of the villain. Why does the enemy die? And I understand that that's frustrating that, these villains in the MCU are no longer carrying over into new movies or new shows and things like that. For example, like Loki. Loki used to be the enemy in everything. And then we have Thanos, and he carried over into movies. And then we had Kang, and he's been in a few of the multiverse movies. And now we have these enemies who are one and done. They die in the same show or in the same episode and never really get to carry on through the multiverse. That's frustrating. But I can also see in this movie why they couldn't carry on Cassandra Nova in this form anyway. She was an extremely powerful character, and I don't think that there would be another stronger character in this point of time anyway to take out the Time Ripper, which is that machine that really needed to be destroyed. And I think that that was a perfect way to get rid of her character, but also get rid of the weapon, because that could be used by other villains. So I think it was a perfect way. It was a quick way, sure, but it was a perfect way to sort of kill two birds with a stone, taking out Cassandra Nova and taking out the Time Ripper. I really liked Cassandra Nova. I thought she was very intriguing. I do think that her storyline could have been expanded a little bit, because I would have liked to have known why. Like, I like that we got the backstory a little bit with that her brother is Charles Xavier, but if she had the magic wand from Doctor Strange, why didn't she explore other multiverses? Why didn't she go and look for her brother, even if it was to destroy the universe or destroy him or something? Like, it wasn't really touched on as to why she was just so happy to be chilling out in the wasteland. Like, if you've got that much power, why not wield it? She's just sort of sitting out there waiting for these new toys to be pruned, or rejects to be pruned, so that she can have a new toy to play with. It just seems a little bit meh. Like, okay, you don't want anything else? I mean, all right, easy enough. But yeah, I think that that could have been expanded on a little bit more. And the one thing that bothered me was that she had Juggernaut's helmet right there in the wasteland with her. And I just think if that's the one thing that could stop you from wielding your power, why would you have that thing there for somebody or anybody, any of those X-Men clones, I guess you could say, could use that against you in some way, shape, or form? So I just thought, that's a little bit silly. But anyway, I'm looking past the silly because I'm not going to lie, I didn't really care. It's just something that plays on my mind after, but watching the movie, I didn't care. I went in for Deadpool and Wolverine fights. I went in for Deadpool and Wolverine team-ups, and I got both of them. But then on top of that, I got epic cameos. I got beautiful, heartfelt moments with story and meaning behind them. It gave me faith in the MCU again, that they can give us perfection again, which has been a little bit lost along the way, I'm not gonna lie. We got that touching moment at the end credit scene, and you had them bloopers and the behind the scenes footage of all the Fox moments and all the Fox characters, and it was emotional. It was overwhelming to think like, oh, this is the end, but it's also the beginning, things like that. Like, that's how I felt. And I was getting very emotional by those scenes. So that was another thing that I didn't expect that I got, real happiness and like closure to that, I guess you could say. And I mean, they provided me with Hugh Jackman, ripped, oiled, doing that Wolverine sort of stance. And he's just ripped, you know, arms out, flexing, oiled up. And Madonna's Like a Prayer is just playing in the background. Like, my prayers were answered. That was so cringy.
I am soaking wet right now.
Yeah, what more could you ask for, right? I was a very happy girl, all over the board. Very, very happy. Big tick. Let me know in the comment section your favorite cameo. Mine was Henry Cavill. I just thought that was a perfect moment. Totally fan service that we wanted and got. So I'm very happy with that. Even though Hugh Jackman can move forward, it was nice to just have a little taste of what Henry Cavill would have been as Wolverine. So yeah, hit me in the comments, and if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel and then head over to my gaming channel and give me a sub over there as well, please. And the links to all my socials are in the description box, so go give me a follow on them as well. All right, sweetas, have a good day. Bye.